The raven has a very complex and interesting history with mankind. In some ways we revere it, but in a lot of ways we fear this animal. The collective noun for the raven includes such terms as flock, which is most common, but also they've been called rave, a treachery, an unkindness, or a conspiracy. And their reputation in the West was associated with soothsayers, like Morgan Le Fay, the famed witch, but also the Norse war god Odin. Now, Odin himself was accompanied by two ravens. They were Hugin and Mummin, and they were responsible for conveying all the information that was happening in the nine realms back to him. But individually, they each represented aspects of memory and of the mind. Now, Hebrew symbolism is somewhat ambivalent, where the raven is seen as a scavenger, making it an unclean animal. But it was also very astute, and in the book of Genesis, Noah relies on the raven as the test to whether the floods have begun to recede. And according to the laws of Moses, ravens are absolutely forbidden fruit. And in one legend of the 4th century Iberian Christian martyr Saint Vincent of Saragossa, when he was assassinated, a collection of ravens protected his body from all the wild animals until his followers could find him and bury his body. And at his final resting place at Cape St. Vincent, there is a shrine ultimately to a flock of ravens surrounding his interment. In Siberian epic poetry, the raven is still seen as a sign of war and of death, but more specifically the aftermath of such and the significance. In general, the raven still has a role as a solar or oracle symbol. Its glistening black plumage suggesting that it has an ability to live in close proximity to the sun. It is the messenger of Apollo, who was the light god, and also the goddess Athena in Greece, and was also linked to the sun cult of Mithras. In Chinese culture, a three-legged symbol of the Chang dynasty, symbolizing the rising zenith and sinking of the sun, and it was said that the raven lived in the sun himself. Now, in both China and Japan, ravens are an emblem of family love, and ravens appear in African culture typically as a guide, or in other tales as giving a warning. In some viewpoints, the raven is even seen in some African cultures as being the creator of the universe itself, or holding some creative element, while many other tales show the raven as a sharp-witted trickster who could be kind of benevolent but could also be very detrimental depending on its individual character. The role of the bird was so significant that in Norse myths, the Valkyries favored their gift, being able to shift into a raven form, being able to fly, and also being able to communicate and get information from them. And they've always been seen associated with some type of hierarchy. Or the Norman conquest of England, that Corbel family symbol is based on an original raven. It is shown on the coat of arms for the Washington National Guard, coat of arms for Lisbon, called St. Vincent's Ravens. It is used for the northern territories of the Yukon and Yellowknife City to this day. The city of Baltimore, because its association with the writer Edgar Allan Poe, has always been represented by the raven, including its football team. The raven stays prevalent in modern culture, as we see many stories like Game of Thrones, where using the ravens was always symbolizing the exchange of information and regarding the general intelligence of this very, very unique bird.